All right, welcome everyone to our custom code adaptation for SAP S/4HANA session. We have a great speaker for you today, Olga, and she'll be here to present all about the topic. We also have her colleague, Christopher, who'll be answering all your questions. So please put them in the Q&A section and he'll be able to answer them throughout the call. Also, if you have any further questions, you can go to the SAP Community. I'm going to put in the chat the link to follow the S/4HANA tag and also the S/4HANA topic page. We ask that you have any further questions after the session, please feel free to post it on the community. And also, this whole presentation will be available for you after the call on the community, and we'll also send out an email with the recording. And without further ado, Olga, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Also welcome from my side. Let's continue with the presentation. My name is Olga Dolinskaja, and I'm working in ABAP platform product management team. And today we will talk about the custom code adaptation for SAP S/4HANA. And since we are now in the breakout session, I will show you also a lot of demos. And as Megan already mentioned, there is also Christopher in the call, who is an active developer of the whole tools like custom code migration app, and he is also able to answer all your questions in the Q&A session of the meeting. So feel free, if you have any questions to the content, to the demo during the session, just put them to the Q&A session and Christopher will be also able to answer them. Okay. Let's start with the custom code adaptation for SAP S/4HANA. What do you see on this slide? This is how the SAP S/4HANA system conversion process looks like. It consists of two phases, preparation phase and realization phase. And there are some tools which plays a role here, like, for example, maintenance planner or software update manager, which you probably know from SAP Business Suite upgrades. But we will focus on the custom code process, and custom code related process consists also of two steps, which you will do in the preparation phase. Meaning, if you prepare your system, your business suite system for SAP S/4HANA conversion, and after you have installed the new software using the software update manager, you will go into the realization phase where you can really do the adaptation. It begins with the so-called custom code scoping. It means if you convert your existing system to SAP S/4HANA, first, you need to decide which custom code you will take over to the new S/4HANA world. Meaning, of course, you can take over the whole code and adapt it here, but it will result in a huge effort, since our statistics from the past 15 years show that 30 to 60% of custom code in a middle SAP ERP system is not executed. And also another significant part can be replaced with SAP standard code upon system conversion. It means if you remove obsolete code, if you remove unused code, you will significantly reduce your effort for the custom code adaptation activities. Therefore, we recommend to do the so-called custom code scoping, and the foundation for this custom code scoping is the collected usage data for your ERP system. You can collect usage data using either UPL, usage procedure login in the solution manager, or we recommend to use the ABAP call monitor and SUCG transaction as the successor of the UPL. And you can use this transaction directly in your ERP system. Then, after you have collected usage data, you will be able to upload this usage data to the custom code migration app. Custom code migration app is the tool of choice of the custom code adaptation process for analysis and for the scoping of custom code for SAP S/4HANA. And you can upload the collected usage data to the custom code migration app, and the app will be able to do the initial scoping based on this uploaded usage data. After that, you can adjust, of course, the scope manually. You can remove and add objects and so on. And then after you are finished with the scoping, you can also delete and remove unused code from the system. After the scoping, the analysis takes place, and the analysis of custom code based on the remote ABAP test cockpit. ABAP test cockpit is our central tool for all static checks on the custom code. And ABAP test cockpit is also the basis for the custom code migration app. Custom code migration app works on top of the ABAP test cockpit and uses S/4HANA related check reference to check your custom code for S/4HANA readiness. And after you are done with this, and to some point of time, you will go on with the realization phase, meaning that the software update manager will install the new S/4HANA software on your system after the conversion, and you will be able to do the functional adaptation. And then we, of course, recommend first to set back to standard the changed, modified, and enhanced SAP code as far as possible. And for this purpose, there are dedicated transactions, SPDD and SPRU. And there is also enhanced SPRU transaction, which allows to do the mass set to standard activities at one step. So we recommend to set as much as possible to SAP standard, and then you can do the adaptation of your custom code using ABAP development tools in Eclipse. And we offer there also semi-automated capabilities via so-called quick fixes in Eclipse. So you can use quick fixes to adapt the custom code in a semi-automated way. And in the end, after you are finished with the functional adaptation, you can think about some custom code optimization activities. Like, for example, you can do performance tuning for your critical SQLs if you using, for example, if you go in from the ERP system to this for HANA on the HANA database, and before your ERP system was on AnyDB. Or you can think about some code pushdown techniques using the CDS views and do the simplification of custom code and so on and so forth. So this is how the custom code process for the custom code adaptation for S/4HANA looks like. And now it's time to start with the first demo. I will present you the custom code migration app, and you will learn in this demo how to analyze your custom code for S/4HANA readiness using this app, how to upload the collected usage data, how to define the scope of your custom code for SAP S/4HANA based on usage data collected by ABAP Call Monitor, SCMON transaction, and SUCG, the transaction for the aggregation of the collected usage data. And then you will see also how to analyze your custom code for SAP S/4HANA and how to create a deletion transport request for unused code. Okay, let's continue with the demo. Before I will show you the custom code migration app, just a small escape to the usage data tools. So as I already told you, you can turn on usage data analysis directly in the ERP system. And for this purpose, there is the transaction SCMON. You can turn it on directly in your ERP system and collect the usage data. So you just, now you see here the ABAP Call Monitor is activated, it's running, and you can display the data collected by the SQL Monitor, by the ABAP Call Monitor. And you will see here that some usage data are collected here in the systems, and we actually recommend at least 1 year prior to the conversion project to turn on usage data to collect the usage data for your custom code in order to get representative results. If you turn on the SCMON monitor and ABAP Call Monitor SCMON and collect the usage data, it's not enough, since the data will overload the database of the system, and therefore you need to aggregate the collected usage data. For this purpose, there is this transaction SUCG, and actually you can turn on here the data aggregation, which is currently running here. And you can collect the usage data and aggregate it simultaneously in the system. And the data is collected and stored in aggregated way. And if you need the usage data, you need to create the snapshot of it. Just press this create snapshot button and create the snapshot. And this snapshot of the usage data collected so far, you can upload afterwards to the custom code migration app. So this is how you proceed with the usage data collection. Please keep in mind, at least 1 year before your system conversion project, just collect the usage data, and you will get the representative results about productive usage of custom code. The performance overload of the system is not so significant for the direct usage data collection in the ERP system. It's about 3% at maximum. Therefore, you can turn on it directly in your productive system. Okay, let's continue with the custom code migration app. Custom code migration app is available as Fiori app. It's available starting with S/4HANA 1809 system, and it is also available in the cloud, in the SAP BTP ABAP environment in the cloud. And I'm now running this app in the SAP BTP ABAP environment. And here my Fiori Launchpad, I just click on the custom code migration. And what you see here, you see here different custom code migration projects. You can create migration project by clicking to the create on the create button. And you see here we can create either S/4HANA migration project, or you can even create SAP Cloud Platform migration project, or also custom code analysis project. So if you create the S/4HANA migration project, you just need to put the name, and you need to enter the target release, which is S/4HANA release you would like to go to with your custom code. And here you can select the transition scenario. And we support both. We support system conversion, and we support also the new implementation for Greenfield S/4HANA custom code transitions. So you can enter also if you prefer to use the classic material number lengths, or you want to use the material number lengths of 40 characters of S/4HANA. Let's keep it classic. And then you can select the location of the custom code in remote system, and you need to provide the connection to remote system. So you need to set up the RFC destination to the remote system, and here choose the system. Here you can upload the usage data, and you can select from the system and from the SUCG snapshots created so far in the SUCG transaction here. So if you collect your usage data with UPL and Solution Manager, you can also connect your Solution Manager system, and here you will see the snapshots from the UPL data, and you can also upload the UPL data here to the custom code migration app. Okay, now I will press cancel here, since it will take a lot to create some time to create the new project. Therefore, I just select the prepared system conversion project, which I prepared beforehand. And you see here that here the scoping was already done, and the scoping was done based on the uploaded usage data, and analysis is also finished for this project. So let's go to the scope. What you see here, this diagram presents the scope information, and you see that the objects are in scope. Which objects are in scope by collected usage data? These are here, the objects in scope by object, and you see here which objects are not in scope, so unused custom code objects, and you see here which objects here are in scope by reference, meaning that executed custom code objects, if they reference statically other custom code objects, then they will automatically be taken automatically into the scope. So you have here the scope, which was defined initially based on the uploaded usage data, and you can adjust it manually. You can go to the change scope, and here, for example, you can take over the packages to the scope which are not in scope. For example, you can add in this way new developments for which usage data don't exist. So you just click on this package and add package the scope. And what you see now, also dependent packages were added to scope, meaning that this package definitely references the other objects statically, and therefore they are added to the scope. So in this way, you can adjust the scope manually. You can add the whole packages, remove the packages, and you can also remove and add single objects. When defining the scope, you can also display the complexity of your custom code. Here you see this complexity diagram which we provide. This diagram summarizes the number of relevant changes in accordance with the complexity of the custom code. Complexity means how difficult is the code to understand and to change. And therefore, using this complexity diagram, you can estimate the effort of your custom code migration activities in advance. We have found out that the most complex packages very often also experience the most frequent changes, and in this way increase the maintenance cost for your custom code. And therefore, we recommend to use this complexity diagram as a technical metric to prioritize which of your custom code developments need redesign. Here, for example, this upper right part of the diagram shows the most complex packages. And our recommendation is to remove such packages from the scope and think about redesigning them. Okay, after you are done with the scoping, you can press the button create deletion transport, and the deletion transport will be created directly in the ERP system. And if you convert your system to the S/4HANA, you can add this deletion transport as custom transport to the software update manager in order to get to delete the unused code from the system and the code which is out of scope. You can also keep the backup of this code if you don't definitely want to delete it and maybe think you will need it at a later point of time. You can store the backup of this custom code. Okay, after you have defined and you are finished with the scope, you can do analysis, and you can, for example, click directly on the number of findings, and here you see the graphical representation of the ABAP test cockpit results. And here this table represents the ABAP test cockpit results as you know it from the SAP GUI transaction. You have here the whole simplification information and the results, which objects are affected, and so on. And here above you have different filter capabilities on the ABAP test cockpit check results. You can use, for example, these compact filters to filter the results, for example, to do the quick filter and filter the results by the package, for example, here, just quick filter, or you can use these visual filters. And here you can set up these filters as you want, and you can store this view here. Here is the capability to save this view, filter related view. And you have here the possibility, if I go, for example, to the standard view, I will get all the filters here. And you can filter the results, for example. I can filter the results by the scope information. I'm interested only in the results of the code which is in scope for SAP S/4HANA. I don't need the custom code results which are not in scope. Then I can filter it by the availability of the quick fixes. For example, I'm interested only in results for which no quick fixes are available. And also, for example, you will see here that significantly the amount of findings will be shortened significantly. You have only 39 findings here. And you can also filter the results, for example, by the change category. Technical category means that these ATC findings can be fixed of any ABAP developer, and functional means that only a developer with a special application logic knowledge is required to fix such findings. So you have here different filter capabilities. For example, I will just here focus on the results which are functional, for which no quick fixes are available. And here I see these results here. And what I can do here, I can also navigate to the details. So I can display the details of this finding. I see which custom code object is affected, this one. I see also which simplification node is related. And I can also navigate directly here to the source code here. And I see where is the issue. Okay. So you have here the capabilities to scope your custom code in the custom code migration app. You can analyze your custom code and you can apply different filters. Here, for example, you can also apply the filter by the referenced objects. And here I can, for example, I can focus here on the middle part of this diagram and see not by the reference object, by the check, for example. And here I would like to focus on the results for selects without order by, for example, here. So you have here different filter capabilities, as I already said. Okay, let's go back to the slides. And now it's time for the next demo. After you have installed the new S/4HANA software, it's time to adapt your custom code. And we offer the automated custom code adaptation in ABAP development tools and Eclipse using the quick fixes. And we will see now the demo regarding this. Okay, so I will go to my ABAP development tools in Eclipse, and here I have a package with the custom code which I would like to fix with the quick fixes on the new S/4HANA system. So, and I have here two capabilities. I can either mark this package and execute ABAP test cockpit using the corresponding check variant S/4HANA readiness, for example, 2020. Or I can also use the existing run, which I executed before from the ATC result browser, and I can just take over this run to the ATC problems view. So now I have taken over this run to the ATC problems view, and here I see the findings of ABAP test cockpit run for S/4HANA readiness. I can and this yellow bulb here signalizes that there are quick fixes for these findings. If I go directly to the finding, I can step into the editor, and here I can press Ctrl+1 shortcut and see what quick fix proposes to me. So it proposes to use the API call instead of select. And so I can proceed with each and every finding, but we will do the following. We will apply the mass-enabled quick fixes. For this purpose, I just mark the whole findings list and use the context menu recommended quick fixes. Okay, it's a little bit. Let's rerun because I think this run was already old. I will just execute again ABAP test cockpit. To get the fresh list of the findings. Okay, let's try to apply mass-enabled quick fixes. Okay, and here we see that the majority of the issues can be fixed in a semi-automated way, and you see here which findings will be fixed, which custom code objects are affected. I can also group it by the custom code object, and you will see in which custom code objects which findings can be fixed by the quick fixes. And if I go to the next, here I will see the for each custom code objects, the editor which presents the original source code and how the source code would look like after applying the quick fixes. So you can go through each custom code object and see what is the corresponding quick fix proposal, how to apply it. And what you see here are also the quick fix commands. So if there is a capability to turn on the quick fix commands directly in the S/4HANA system, and in this way you will see how your previous original source code looked like before applying the quick fix. It will be stored in the source code as well. And here, if you agree to all the changes which quick fix proposed to you, then you can press the finish button. I just go back, and here I will select also the post-processing activities. I will select to activate the changed object and do the recheck with ABAP test cockpit. So go to the next. And if I press now finish button, then all quick fixes get applied at one step. And all the quick fixed source code get activated. And as you see in the status bar, it gets rechecked with the ABAP test cockpit again. And after that, you will get the ATC result list with much less of findings. So you see here, you have only 40 errors left, which you would need to fix manually. So this is how the quick fixes work. And now I'm ready with the whole demos, and thank you very much for attending this session. And let's take a short look in the Q&A section. I hope that...
Yeah, Olga, it seems there was a question about, Christopher said it'd be great to ask Olga for the answer. They're asking if we use this text add-on on our ERC system on HANA 2.0, does the conversion process remain same if we wanted to migrate to V4, which is the equivalent of S4HANA and VizTech add-on?
Okay, the process is the same, and you just need to check the add-on for S4HANA readiness.
All right, great. Any other questions before we wrap up the session?
So, are there any other questions left?
No, I think that's it. Well, thanks so much for hosting this, Olga. This is great. And everyone in the session today, if you have any further questions, feel free to go to the SAP Community site. I linked it all in the chat. And also, the links are right here, and we will send this to you in a follow-up email, but also this recording will be available on the SAP Community. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.